Hi, my name is Hywel Thomas and I'm the Managing Director at Mercedes AMG High Performance Powertrains. For those that don't know, HPP is the part of the F1 business that analyses, designs, manufactures, assembles the power units and then takes them into the field and supports them during the race weekends. So it's a really diverse group of people who I try and provide that leadership for. So I work very closely with board of managers of HPP and also the management team here to put in place the strategies that we need to keep working on those values and the way we want the business to be, and then supporting the team so that we can deliver all of that so that this place runs smoothly for all the staff that work here and for the product to make sure we can get the best product as possible. On the day-to-day front, I normally start my day in the F1 sort of daily meeting where we look at the priorities for the next 24 hours. Although this company does more than F1 and I'm responsible for more than F1, this company exists to do F1. I have some weekly responsibilities. For instance, I'm the chair of the management team here, and we always have our weekly management team meeting to keep everything running smoothly. I also attend a number of project meetings. So all of our projects here, whether they be in Formula One or some of the Mercedes projects that we do, we have a quality gateway review style process, and I go to those to see the smooth running of those bits of the projects and put my input in. And then I'll also look at my emails. I get plenty of emails every day, things from internal, things from external that I need to deal with. Because this is a site that does so much, there are some real great people that are involved in the business support functions, and they also have issues and things that need looking at, and I'm here to help them to make sure we are supporting the engineering group, which in the end is the people that create the product. And if I can get away with it, which I try desperately, I dabble in engineering. I like to think I'm bringing all the years of my experience in F1 to bear. I suspect the people that I'm talking to think I'm just meddling and making their life difficult, but I can't help myself. As part of my job, I'm very fortunate and privileged to spend some time at the circuit. I always think that when I'm there, I can be very useful as being a bit of a link between the factory and the circuit. A less formal link, but seeing what's going on at the factory, knowing what's happening here, and then seeing how that plays out at the circuit and what's happening there. So in addition to the Formula One project that we do here, over the years we've taken on other projects, mostly for Mercedes. At the moment we are doing the production of the stunning Project One Hyper Ultra car, and we're into the production of the power unit for that now. In the last 12 months we've worked on the EQXX, the Mercedes electric car, and that was a very successful project of which we were part. And we're also doing more and more now for Mercedes in the R&D space. So some of the very early concept work, we're doing some work with Mercedes and indeed with AMG, especially again on the electric cars because of the history that we've got here through Formula One of high performance electric systems. And of course the other thing we are is we're world champions in Formula E. And although that project's closed now for Mercedes, we're very proud of what we achieved. So of course, whilst our priority is the power unit for our Mercedes car, we do also supply some customers. We supply Aston Martin, we supply McLaren, and we supply Williams. And we look after those power units in the field and support them through their racing. The most challenging part of my job is being interviewed. I came into F1 because I love engineering, and I find it quite hard to be sat with a microphone and a camera talking to people. In addition to that, I realise that I'm in a very, very privileged position at HPP, and I have an awful lot of influence. I'm also horribly impatient, and I need to be a little bit careful when I'm in meetings. I need to stop myself sometimes. The things that I want to say, I realise might be a little bit destructive, and with that level of privilege and influence I have, I do need to check myself sometimes, and I can find that quite hard. The favourite part of the job, I think it's probably a bit of a cliche, but it's the people. I just love being here and working with such a great team. If my job was to come into work every day, sit in my office, type at my computer, not interact with anyone and then leave and go home, I wouldn't be here for a month. I'd have gone. It's being able to spend the time with people, chat with people, understand people. That's the fun of it. I was born and brought up in Torquay in South Devon, but with a name like Hywel Thomas, you probably realise that I've got Welsh parents, and so I spent a reasonable amount of my summers in West Wales as well. In terms of engineering, I studied mechanical engineering in Bath University, and from there started my engineering career at Perkins Engines in Peterborough, spent a few years there and then made the jump into F1 down at Cosworth in Northampton, and again worked there for a few years before joining HPP in 2004. Joined here as an engineer and have since worked my way through the business until I've become the managing director. It's an absolutely brilliant company here, and it has been led by a great group of managing directors over the years that have put in place incredible culture and some great values. And I'm now that managing director, and it's a real responsibility to find myself sat in the corner office looking back at that past and trying to live up to it and make sure that we've got an absolutely amazing future as well.